we're live. Welcome back to Dungeons and Dragons, the place where these things happen and those things happen and things get a bit crazy sometimes. Last time the team had gone on a attempt to shop, I guess. Went to saw Geraldine, the blacksmith there in Zultamal, met up with Ailey's brother, who wasn't interested in coming with the team, but is currently jacked, much to the dismay of everybody else around, obviously. Back to the mansion, where they've teleported back off to the fabrication station, where they have met with Alphon, Zupimo, and Joe, to learn that they have discovered the secrets of reprogramming the clockworks, and have provided a vessel for Varys's clockwork core, and have also offered Varys a magical eye to replace his lost one. Yeah. That's pretty much where we left off with Varys getting handed this eye. Looks like Jun is having some connection problems. Are you back, Jun? I guess not. Oh dear.
It'll be one of those nights.
It is gonna be one of those nights, I guess.
I return.
Amazing. Well then, let's see what Everill's doing. You're in a very strange place, as described. This place is almost entirely metal. You're looking over at the team, who are conversing with a metal man and two very old men. One is less old, I guess.
Yeah, it's keeps coming out.
Sounds like Jun is getting some tick support.
Yeah. Indeed. I think Everill's curious, but also is noticing all these other people having like fantastical conversations and going, how do I be helpful? So I will spend time sketching these interactions. You want better than two sketchy characters. So I will sit cross-leggy on the floor, pull out the sketchbook, and be like, I'll be sitting here until someone tells me what I need to be doing.
Amazing.
You also got a brand new sword too. Well, not brand new.
I
did.
I'm probably also fiddling with it intermittently between strokey
right.
bits of... Yep.
The short sort of warning.
Because I believe I need to attune to it.
You will need to attune to it.
So no one's told Everil what attuning means. I noticed that I went through my items and I have other things that I'm supposed to attuned to. So I should probably make sure I tell one of the grown-ups so they can help.
I think you are attuned to one of your items.
It says attunement 1 of 3.
Yeah, so you're attuned to the ring.
You have 3 total slots that you can attune in.
I've got the shiny hat, not to tell Ailey what it is.
Yes.
The shiny hat that's in there.
Yeah.
That
so
one also required.
The items that have like little suns next to them, if the little grey suns, means that they can be attuned but aren't.
Gotcha, I see it now.
And the black ones are currently attuned ones.
Gotcha, sense is made.
Yeah.
Black or is it red?
I'm colorblind, don't ask me.
Oh, yeah, no, I just shoved my eyeball against the screen. I can't see.
From where I am sitting, it is just a blackened version of the grey one. It might be some very small red pixels in there, but I'm not getting that close to my monitor.
There's a very obvious difference between the two of them. The grayed out one is very obvious. But also, if you hover your cursor over it, it'll show you whether it's like attunement required or whether it's attuned already.
That is true. All right. Yeah, I mean, feel free right now to, if you'd like to spend the next 20 minutes doing attunement stuff.
Yeah.
The guys here are pretty much finished explaining what they were gonna explain. Joe goes back off to keep examining machinery down here. Alphon and Zupimo have other experiments to run, but they will levitate the clockwork over to Varys. For that.
Okay. Yeah, I think Varys will do that before doing any attunement stuff.
Okay.
He brings out the clockwork core and sort of just starts looking between it and the robot.
There is a very clear slot that you can make out that would be where it would fit in. It looks like it's opened up as well, like it's been pried open so that when you slot the core inside, things will close over top of it to protect it wherever it gets put. Yes. Yes. Let me bring up this. Let's see. Would have been cool of me to put more details in these things when I was setting them up, but that's just me, I guess. Yeah, because you are a level 3.
Yeah, third level artificer.
Yeah. So this is kind of above your level, but you know where to put it.
Yeah, fair enough. That sounds about right. What
I mean to say, out of game, everybody, the arcane horologist gets the ability to use the clockwork core to craft a machine for it, very much like this, but it's at later levels. So thanks to having a bunch of wizards help you out, basically, you're going to get a little bit of advancement in this.
Also makes sense because one of Varys's titles is friend to constructs.
That is true.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, can you go ahead and whack that inside, yeah?
Yeah, I think just before he does it, I think you mentioned it before in passing, and Varys did open a channel of sorts to it. I think he's just gonna gently speak into the mind of the core and say, "Hey, friend, we're going to need your assistance. Please join us," and then put it into the clockwork.
All right. You feel as you bring it closer and closer to its resting place, very gently trying to place it, you suddenly feel like a magnetic tug on it, and it sort of almost to the point of like pulling it out of your fingers, but enough to pull you forward into it, and it locks in place magnetically. You hear a nice little thunk as it clicks into place, and then you feel that you better get your hands out of the way before you get stuck in there. So you quickly
stand clear of the closing doors.
Yeah, quickly pull it out as the blue light of the core seems to spread over different parts of it. You see, you feel the magic that sort of courses through the magical metal all over it. You see little diodes, I guess. You're not sure. You you don't have a good reference for this as Varys, but you see like little bits of machinery light up a little bit more. You'll get familiar. You feel like you're getting familiar, more and more familiar with how these machines work.
Yeah,
and this
Varys
is
has done some repairs on Clockworks before as well too for Joe.
exactly. So this is just another. You sort of sit there in awe and, well, both equal parts awe, equal parts trying to make sense of what you're seeing as well.
Whoa! But taking notes.
Yeah, exactly. And then like a rib cage, you see metal sharp chunks fold over where you'd inserted the core and sort of interweave themselves, locking in place this core. And slowly but surely you hear the ticking and whirring ramp up from within until it starts to move. The arms sort of give a little jiggle, the legs, he sways a little bit, trying to get balance. His head dips a little bit and then comes back up and looks at the party. Turns around a little bit, looks at Zuhemo, turns back to you, looks you up and down, and you hear in your head, interesting.
What's interesting there, friend?
I wasn't expecting arms. And you see him like reach out and move his, like, open and close his hands a bunch, just constantly, like over and over, like,
Yeah. You've got legs too, yeah. You've got the whole kit and caboodle there.
Yes, very interesting. We'll have to experiment with those later.
Absolutely, you'll get great chances to utilize both arms and legs, I am sure.
Great. What's this thing? And then you see him like flex his left arm, and the probe that looks like a sort of like a cattle prod extends, and gives a little spark at the end.
That is for, I guess, resetting clockworks who have been tainted by the Black Sun, to bring them back.
Repairinator. Got it.
Yeah,
And-
sure.
And then unflexes and it shoots back into his arm.
Cool.
Right. Well, I'm full of energy right now.
Wondrous. That's great to hear. Sorry, this is all very new to me.
Having a child? Yes. I suppose it
What?
would be. What?
Sorry?
Huh?
Pardon? Huh?
Yes. Huh?
You wanna run that by me again, there, Chief? What was that?
I don't know what you mean.
Oh boy.
Well, yes, it is your progeny. Surely.
The robot is your child, or is she your child?
Who?
Who?
What?
What?
They
He's
would
just
be confused
you're
about
hearing the
what
robot
child.
mimic. You're hearing the robot mimic Varys almost like perfectly, like not his exact voice. There's like there's a metallic twang to it, but it.
Yeah, but she'd still be confused and now think that Avril is like Paris.
I wondered who the she was, and I'm like, oh god, please don't be Ever. That's amazing.
Jun slaps Varys on the back. Just slightly a little bit hard, so he loses his footing and has to find it again. And goes, time to buck up, I guess.
Yeah, sure. It's wartime. It's the perfect time to have a kid.
Wait,
Yes, especially
What?
one of my caliber.
You have
Yes.
your
hearing my
child
name
of
in your
war.
conversation and like perks up, like, you're my. No.
Huh? No, I'm definitely not your parent. 100% not.
Who
Good. Be that way. Looks at sketchbook, looks at sword, aggressively buries self in task.
Is it?
He'll be like, yeah, I did think your parents had died.
Really?
And then, like,
Come
kind of wander
on.
off and just stare at, like, things on the wall.
He's a bit like that, huh?
Yeah, you'll learn. Actually, that's a question. The core has been active for a little while. Have you been listening?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes,
So
I understand the dynamic. Yes, yes.
Okay, and you've heard what we're up against then as well too, right?
Yes, the Black Sun God, Death God, primordial Death God of all beings. Yes.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's new to me, but I guess that is what he's trying to be. So that makes sense.
There appears to be extra information within this construct, actually, that I have gleaned momentarily, and it does appear that yes, the Black Sun is indeed the primordial Death God of all. In fact, even your Dragon God would eventually be killed by him in the end. And he points directly at Jin. And he brings out both of his arms and points at Ailey and Jin.
Ailey would just be like, no, it was my brother that was worshipped him.
Yeah, you're still gonna die. Don't worry about it.
Hey, but like, maybe just don't tell people they're gonna die all the time.
She does it all the time, continues pointing at Ailey.
I know, and we're trying to
Ailey
train her
nods
out
and
of
like,
it.
what's wrong with it?
Death is a fact of life, but I would have hoped, I wouldn't have thought that actually the Black Sun was now. Surely this is early.
Well, this makes it's extrapolation more than it is a guaranteed fact, considering he was the god that killed Jensen. So, ipso facto, Dragon God gets killed by this god, your Dragon God also gets killed by this god.
That's
Does make sense.
not how logic works.
I mean, Jensen and
You said,
were
like-
kind of on a level, weren't they?
When you say that isn't how logic works, you see him sort of like tilt slightly, and then like a lot of gears start clicking as he's trying to comprehend what you mean by that.
Jen's gonna turn to him and say, just because one member of a pantheon is killed by someone doesn't mean that that person is destined to kill all members of the pantheon. Is there some other information I'm missing here?
I see what you mean. No, okay. Yes, that checks out. He's not destined to kill, for sure, but would be... I don't know why I came to that conclusion. Joe, and he calls out to his clockwork that has no idea of his presence. And Joe,
help me out with my kid.
Yeah, Joe comes out and is like, Joe comes out like, who is calling me?
Help!
Oh. Yes,
Hey,
small clockwork.
He had a baby.
That is not my understanding of what has happened.
Is
They
Joel
grow
the
up so
other
fast.
father of this clockwork?
Jill, do you want to co-parent with me?
I don't know how to respond to these inquiries.
I also
I think parenting is sometimes a responsibility that is forced upon you, and I think in this situation you are possibly more equipped than most of us.
I understand. I think.
Blends in so well
Varus
with
is-
our pre-game conversation.
Yeah.
Yep,
Art imitates life.
it really does.
Varus is going to lean around the clockwork and just sort of whisper to Joe, Joe, there's another thing that I'd like to talk to you about afterwards, but it's not super important right now. Just please remind me of it.
Yes, and if you don't, I will. It's the clockwork in the middle, the smaller
Good,
clockwork.
Wonderful. Thank you. That's very helpful.
We are connected, you know. But anyway, I wanted to ask you, Joe, why there is a line of thinking in my brain here from this construct I'm in that leads me to believe that the Black Sun is the ending of all things. And Joe, you sort of see, like, closes his mouth. You hear the clicking and whirring in him as well. And then after a brief pause goes, yeah, that's probably how it goes down. Yeah. The little clockwork's
You're
like,
going to need to give me a bit more information than that,
Yeah.
because I care very much about the order of the death gods. I care about not going to the horrible place that has been described to me as the domain of the Black Sun.
That is understandable.
Are we
The other
fighting?
people?
Are we fighting a fruitless fight? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Sorry, Joe. We have meat suits. We don't quite have the lines of code telling us about things. You might have to explain the things that we
They
don't
came
inherently
from the
have.
other people. Ailey will be getting like a child, like
Like, trying
excited
to-
to tell people stuff. You know, like arms flapping. From the other people.
sorry,
Yes.
what is Ailey saying right now?
I believe Ailey's talking about the idea of you being created by the I don't know the
The ones
actual term for them, the
before.
forerunners. Yes, the people
They
beforehand.
thought it doesn't, and so they made the robots think it. Doesn't
Or,
true.
I mean, a number of you have corrupted code. Is it possible that it's corrupted information, that this is the Black Sun trying to convince us of his inevitability?
No, I think surprisingly, Haley has got this correct. That the people who built us programmed us with their understanding of what the Black Sun is.
They
That
drew the pretty pictures.
yes.
Why would they fight him if they believed him to be inevitable?
Well, we're not sure exactly why they decided to fight him in that sense, but the belief here is that he is not truly inevitable, of course. It is simply that he has the ability, once at full power, he has the want and the ability to kill all other gods, at least all non-primordial ones.
Making it all the more important that we defeat him. Right.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I have a better handle on it now.
And then the little one will pipe up. Of course, that doesn't settle that even if we do manage to put him back down, he isn't just going to come back up again, you know?
Well, I mean, quite obviously by what's going on now, at least, people before us managed to stave him off and set in place safeguards for future people to fight back against it. I think even if we cannot fully defeat him, we could do something similar ourselves to make sure that if it happens in future, then we set people up who will be there to be able to fight it like we are now.
And hopefully leave a better information trail. That would be nice.
Yeah, instead of these random ass pictograms. Although I guess that has prevented the Black Sun God from finding out the plans, but still, that means we don't know the plans. And Joe is just like eyeing this clockwork up and down, like, what has happened to it?
Sorry, Joe. This clockwork core was with me in the Feywild. Has been with us for a little while. Being on the front line can make things a bit more difficult, I think.
I see. I'm glad that you're taking it with you.
So is that a no to the co-parenting? Because I think you'd make a great dad.
I think you have a tribe enough to raise this child.
Fair enough.
I am not equipped to co-parent. Just to make that clear.
It's fine. I'll do it.
Can't you, like, become, like, cool things? Surely you'd be great for being a parent.
Jun gives Joe the most withering look you ever saw.
That wasn't Joe, fair, to be fair.
Oh, okay.
That was the small clockwork.
Okay. Well,
So-
in that case, he gets the most withering look that you ever saw. It's
Yeah.
almost cruel how the look is.
I can respect that. Like, you'll notice that you'll notice now that he is, like, only, like, a few inches taller than Varys.
Perfect. but also actually taller than Varys.
Yeah,
That's the
still
important
taller than
part.
Varys, because, you know,
What I mean.
constructed, but...
Okay. Do
Alright,
we
you
have
tell him about the
time-
thing.
Hmm?
Talk to him about the thing, and he moves out of the way.
What thing?
The thing you were going to
Oh.
tell Joe, you know,
Oh,
like
yes,
5 seconds ago.
Yep.
Man.
Yep, sorry. Sorry, I had my eyeball pulled out recently. Things haven't quite been the same since. Joe, I'm a little, I don't know, concerned, maybe? Apprehensive, I guess, is probably better.
Yes.
And he just kind of stares at his feet for a couple of seconds. I'm apparently bound for Mechanicus when I die. You know, outside of the whole Black Sun stealing our souls when we die now already. Otherwise, I am apparently bound for there, and I just... I don't know, I wanted to get your read on it, I guess.
Are you sure about that? That you're bound
I was-
to Mechanicus?
According to a goddess who apparently has knowledge of where all of us will be going, yes.
Interesting. Well, I have seen in the pictographs some mention of Mechanicus as both person and place. But other than that, I'm not entirely sure of its connection to Clockworks, but it does seem to have some connection to our construction. That's all I've been able to decrypt at this point, though.
We do think that it is linked to the creation of the core. It seems to have been the biggest shift, I guess.
Interesting. Well, something to think upon when I have more information from these graphs.
Wonderful. Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I would also like to understand this nature as well. If perhaps Mechanicus is another city person that made these things. I mean, if it's related to connection to godliness, another plane, then perhaps it is where all of this knowledge comes from.
It very well could be. I know incredibly little about it, so the more we learn, the better for everybody, I think.
We drew
Absolutely.
an eye patch on the one that is supposed to be like Varys, so we can tell them apart easier.
Leave the ocular units of that robot alone.
No, this is me saying it, not Ailey, but she probably would have the same idea.
Fair enough.
It's the one without a face, right?
That's orange. That's not what I was after.
Joe has face. Other one, not really. Kind of. Oh wait, are those eyes?
I think that it'll end up going underneath the thing anyway, so don't worry. Anyway,
Helpful.
yes, I will do something to differentiate him from other clockworks that you'll run into as well.
Give him a nice little hat.
Yes. But yes. Yes. I haven't been able to decrypt much more from the pictograms. It's all just been tiny pieces of information that I'm slowly piecing together. It is still my understanding that all of us clockworks were put together in the attempt to combat the Black Sun God, as stated, whether that be entirely in vain or not. I'm not too sure about that yet, but that's just one of the many questions that we have for our forefathers.
Fair.
I, for one, would like some more answers.
It's at that point the small clockwork will go, "What about that skull you got?"
Jun flourishes and holds out the skull, which kind of hovers slightly above his hand.
Joe will look between him, it and the little clockwork. What about it? And he goes, "Oh, that's one of our makers." And Joe goes, "Huh? Really?"
Oh,
Varys will
it
step
hadn't
out of the way.
occurred to me. Jun casts speak with. Hang on.
And I
Can I
cast
do that?
Speak with Dead on that. Let's see.
Because I can pull up Speak with Dead. Hang on. Oh, it needs to be a corpse.
Does it have to be a full corpse?
Sorry?
Does it have to be a full corpse?
Jun's gonna try.
You guys symbolize to a corpse of your choice. The corpse must still have a mouth and can't be undead. So yeah, I mean, give it a shot.
Well, it still has a jawbone.
It is still a skull, yes.
Yep. How do I cast it?
Just roll the invocation, Whispers of the Grave. That's fine.
Of course.
Because it's just at will. Yeah, at will speak with dead.
Oh yeah.
Without expending a spell slot.
Yeah. So you all watch as Jun summons their magic. A dark shadow of power that is now seemingly, to those of you who are highly perceptive, so probably just Vertigo just Varys at this point. You see that in that pulling of magic, that swirl of darkness that they swirl in their hands, you see a slither of silver in it that wasn't previously in it. Bew it into this skull. And with that, Jin, I'll get you to roll a D100 for me.
Ooh.
This bad boy's been dead for a very long time.
63?
63. You spin your magic, you feel it leave your body and enter the skull. You see the gems inset into its eyes glimmer for a moment, light up almost, and then a spectral sort of blue light starts to emanate from within the skull as the jawbone starts to lower a little bit, and you hear as though it is clearing its throat, and it seems to be stable at the moment.
Jun looks at Joe and says, "Ask your most pressing question."
Joe's like fumbling, looking at his hands, looking at the other clockwork. What was the purpose of creating all of the clockworks? In its entirety, please.
Nice, specific. I like it. You're not gonna have to worry about monkey's paws in the future. Well done.
And then a raspy voice, like ancient, like way beyond any sort of, like, you're thinking you're calling back some, you've called back plenty of long dead people, right? You've just recently called back a bunch of long dead elves from that time doesn't even really work properly in the Elven King in the Feywild, and they were still quite old in their level of old dead spirits. This one seems to be significantly older even still, and you hear a rasping cough again. The clockworks were created to save us, to save some part of us. So when we went to the Black Sun, there would still be people to fight him, to save life from him. It seems we have succeeded. And then it gives another cough, and the light goes out. And the gems flicker and dim. It seems you were not able to hold that spell for the full length due to the age of this spirit and the nature of the corpse that you had risen.
Jun will kind of say to everyone, "Well, that seems the most we can get from him for now. I have... this is the skull that Jun integrated with his pact scythe, isn't it?"
Correct.
Yeah. He kind of says, "Well, the corpse is not a good one. And it's very old. And there's only the skull. If we had a better one, we could maybe ask more questions, but we're going to have to wait before I can even ask this one anything again." Also, I have integrated it with my pact scythe, and I apologize if that has contributed to the challenge here. And it kind of shows off how the skull kind of turns into his pact scythe very aesthetically, and then turns back into the skull, and then he puts it away.
The little clockwork gives a little metal clap, tink 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 tink. Beautiful.
That was very helpful, John. Thank you very much.
Yes, that absolutely confirms any speculation that we might have had. Well, at least they didn't think that it was fruitless to fight the Black Sun. That says something.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's hope. And hope is pretty damn powerful.
Also, they said all life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not just mortals. Not just death gods. The Black Sun means to consume everything.
Absolutely.
At least as far as they understood it, yes.
Seems like many other people and creatures and gods believe that to be the case as well too. I think that's why we have the backing of both the heads of the Seelie and Unseelie.
Not to mention all those other gods you guys seem to get on with.
Your new son is up to.
Well, I am, and you're in here too, buddy.
It has been collected from all of us, I believe.
Points at all of you.
Anything that could
Does
be heard within
everyone
my
now
vicinity.
kind of go like, oh no, and like look between the robot and Ailey?
Most likely.
Whatever you took from me, you don't want it. Put it back.
I feel like we could probably all say that, to be honest.
Well, I can't. So you're just gonna have to live with it.
Welcome to existence.
It's great.
We are all but the traumas of our creators, I guess.
Sure, you sure are. Same with me. Except I have the possibility of living forever. Anyway.
Oh, is that better or worse?
Jun sighs very, very deeply.
It was nice not to have the existentialism like being said openly. It was just kind of hanging there.
Yeah, sorry, that's a bit Ailey, remember? Anyway.
Barris just puts his head in his hands.
All right. Well,
you better be worth saving everything. This experience better be worth it.
Hey, everybody might not die. That's definitely worth it.
I know that it is.
Yep.
This is going to be frustrating.
You're telling me. All right. Well, I got lots of energy, and I really want to lick things. I have no tongue. So.
You might have gotten that from both of us. Ellie points at the Ruckus, like between her and the
Oh no! I never thought about what the amalgam of our characters would be.
I'm just thinking of the episode of Red Dwarf.
God.
The
Yep.
super intelligent one that then like had the top minds and then has those four minds.
Oh dear.
Good stuff. What I mean to say is, let's roll.
Yes, let's go. Oh, sorry.
Does that
We
mean
need
they
to-
can drink like I can?
I sure can.
I don't
Thank
think
you,
that would be an
buddy.
issue with the steel stomach.
He like, leans over and it's like, shh.
How old are you again? Are you old enough to drink?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I don't know if they are.
Well, this body certainly is. It's like thousands of years old.
Yeah,
In
but
fact, the
your
oldest
brain.
person
How
here.
old is your brain?
What's the date today?
It is the
I don't know.
81st of spring, post lunchtime.
Then probably about 2.5 days.
Definitely not old enough to drink, and certainly not old enough to talk back. And just pokes his tongue at him. Just emphasizing the lack of tongue that the creature has.
You can talk. I know when you had your first drink.
Ailey's like,
Oh no.
Although I may have gotten that.
mixed it in with the breast milk.
Admittedly, yes, I may have gotten that mixed up with Ailey. That's because it's on her mind all the time.
Wait, you've been inside our minds?
Only the periphery of it. I can't enter you all of your minds properly. Like I get a constant. I get a constant stream from Varys. He is my creator. That's just the connection that we have.
Yeah.
But
that's
all of you have surface thoughts that sort of got jumbled in there while he was making me and doing things, and there was a big emotion that led to my creation that you all shared, and so that's why I'm all of you.
Ailey, like,
Do you have
whispers to Jun, what's an emotion?
Yeah.
I honestly am not good at that either. I don't know why you're asking me.
I am so glad you were part of that, Varys, because I would be so messed up if it was just the rest of these guys.
I'm really sorry, buddy. Like, even with me in there, like I
Oh,
got
don't get me
some
wrong.
baggage
I
too.
know, but like,
How does it feel to have internal sibling rivalries on multiple levels?
oh, don't get me started.
How does that work when you know that you don't you technically have like many hundreds, if not thousands, of siblings, right?
That is true. I do. But most of them are dicks, and I'm here to reprogram them. And then he whips out his reprogrammer again.
Ailey will just be like, can you reprogram my mother?
Jun just starts rubbing his temples.
You
I
all
don't
get to know
think
each other.
so.
I'm just gonna start attuning to some stuff, and Varys takes
Hang
the eye.
Dizzy's finally here for his dinner.
Avril, you will probably want to attune to the sword as well too.
A tune?
Yeah, sure. Varys will walk over. I can't move because the game is paused. And he'll take out the eye and sort of show you what he's doing. You've got to kind of meditate and focus on the magic of the object, and it will slowly, over time, attune to you and you to it, so that you can use its properties and things like that.
Is it like the magical equivalent of when you get to know a cat and they have to get used to you and then they sit on your lap for a while, but then they might go away, but then they trust you so they come back? Is that kind of, but like magic?
It's very
And
similar to that, in that same sort of realm, but instead of being a cat, it is an object that can do things.
Yeah, you gotta slow blink with your mind.
Where are we, like, at the moment?
We're at the top of the
Fabrication stuff.
the fabrication station, just like 2 doors away from where all the dragons were.
And like a door away from where we first met Jun.
Yes. Like you just came from the same teleportation pad that Jin appeared on originally. In the semi closet.
Oh, God. Jun once again steps out of a closet, but has not come out of the closet. What's the room like? Is there, a spot with seating far away from the rest of the group?
There is a whole bunch of like machinery and stuff on the side of the room that is stationary, and you could sit on parts of it as necessary. Yes.
Yeah, I think Jun will just wander away from the group a wee bit and collect himself.
Yeah. All
Wait,
right.
is Everill's personality part of all this too, or is it just us from the core?
Everil was present at the moment of his creation, so there's a little bit of Everil in there too, yes.
Oh god. Which bit?
That's a good question.
Oh god.
So yeah, you just concentrate on it, and as was so eloquently put, slow blink at it with your mind.
Oh. Oh, that's easy. I
You
do
gotta
that
do it for
occasionally when I learn new spells. I just kind of hope they work until they do. Like
Yeah.
every now and then, I just sort of feel the magic get more powerful. I don't know what it seems to be just how long I've been away from home, but it gets worse and worse. The
Oh.
fire burns hotter, makes it bigger. Like at first, I could only do like little things, and now I can do big things.
That sounds like you've been using and cultivating your abilities. That's great.
Like one of the first things I learned how to do was this. That's like a magic trick. Okay, Avril casts Mage Hand.
All right.
And I'm like, look, and like uses it like a little like shadow puppet kind of thing, making it like, look, it's a bunny, and then I can make it a little doggy, and this one's a duck. That's my favorite.
It's very cool.
And the longer I did it, now I can turn people into sheep and to set myself on fire and go to different places
More fire.
and make swords fling around, and that's like a lot more, you know, than just this makes the bunny float up and down.
It is.
That's still impressive. And for some reason, the Clockwork is now speaking a lot less childlike.
Good. But yeah, if you concentrate on this sword for a little while, then you'll gain its properties. It's helped us out of quite a few scrapes. We were being hunted by bounty hunters for a while, and one of them managed to get the drop on us at one point, but that was much earlier, of course. But yeah, it's helpful for not getting repeatedly shot from places you can't see, or having people sneak up behind you, or stuff like that.
So, I carry this. Do I need to look at it to tell me?
You'll just feel it sort of vibrate in your pocket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly
What is vibrate?
It moves incredibly rapidly.
Yeah. The Clockwork holds his hand out and goes like that.
Oh. But
It's like when
hopefully
a barrel's about to explode.
hopefully it never does the like, you know, because no one likes that one.
No, not at all. When you put it next to speakers and it makes a really weird noise, you don't like that either.
What's a speaker?
It's
That's
a
how I
person who
talk.
holds up like a cone and speaks into it.
Is that like when the bard yells through the big metal thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. So Ira will continue playing with it, and then also trying to like finish the sketch and like looking around at the people and being like, oh, they moved again, and then trying to like get more charcoal and lick the end of it and do it a little bit more. And I probably have like a really big charcoal smooch straight across the end of my nose.
100%.
Yep.
Cool. Well, you guys spend your 20 minutes doing your attunings.
Doing things.
Doing things.
Speed attunement.
Yeah. So you attune to the short sword, yes? I will sort that out for you. I think I could just click this. I just click this. No. I can right click it. There you go. Attuned. Bam. All right. Varys, you're attuning to the eyeball. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you're sitting there in your normal position, holding this eyeball in one hand, and meditating on it like you normally do with any of your previous attunements. And then all of a sudden, you feel that kick in, that attunement kick in. So you open the eye that you have currently, and instinctively open both eyes, like you would if you had both in there. And you feel like one of your eyes, the eye that's missing, you suddenly get sensation from it. You suddenly are seeing out of that eye, but not like entirely. It's like one of your eyelids is ever so slowly opening up. And after a few seconds, and it's finally open enough that you can actually like see something out of it, you realize that you are looking up at yourself in that one eye, and it is very disorientating.
Oh God! Oh, I think I'm gonna be. Nope, don't like that. Varus is gonna move it up so that it's level with his eye, so he doesn't feel weird.
Perfect. You do so, and you notice that it is glowing quite brightly. Now that it is attuned, you're not sure about that.
Okay.
That doesn't. You get from it. You get the senses of all of its nature, obviously from doing the attunement. I'll have to create a thing for you for that. But it grants you some once a day spells. They are see invisibility. What else? Locate. No, it wasn't locate magic. It was detect magic.
Oh yeah.
And that's about it. Yeah, those are the once a day spells that it gave you, and obviously returns your perception back to its natural state.
Exciting.
But yeah, there's nothing you get through it that seems like a reason why it's glowing. But you do also get the sense that it is seeing magically, and that you can sort of. It's not like it's capable of seeing through everything, but like if it was pressed up against something, say like an eye patch, it would be able to see through it. So if you were to at some point want to see through something thin, you could also pull it out of your head, push it up against it, and see through that. Not sure whether that would be helpful at all, but it seems like the general idea was that it was for hiding it with an eye patch, as it is quite obvious otherwise.
Yeah, that's fair. Cool. Ferris will look down at the eye and then look at his new clockwork friend.
Hey.
And then, hey, how dexterous are you?
A little bit. Not as much as you, but...
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'll do this myself. Sure. Could you... I don't know how this is gonna work. Could you help me push this eyeball into my skull?
Wait, is
No
that
takers? Okay.
I don't think
or-
that's supposed to be a difficult thing to do.
I was like not sure if you were saying it to the robot still or alien, which is why I didn't reply.
Not
I
that
thought you were saying it to
Jen-
the robot for sure.
Yeah.
So,
But if you're saying it to everyone, Ailey's like, I can do it.
I have little hands and I'm reasonably clever at it. I got at
I-
drawing, see?
True. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I'm just the more that I say it out loud, the more I realize it's my own face and eyeball. I should probably do this myself.
Just use Joe's chest as a mirror.
Sure.
'Cause the other robot's like small, right?
I mean, yes.
But Joe's like normal
But
height.
but Ailey saying that, he'd probably like look down at himself, go, like try and like shine his chest with his metal hands, like, yeah, no, that's not gonna work.
Prestidigitation. I can never say it. That's why I'm never having a character that needs it.
Oh, prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, I don't think you'd have any trouble putting that in there.
Sure. It was more that it was not cleanly taken, I don't think. Just taking the eye was the important part. It'll be fine. Varus just starts to shove it into his head.
All right, roll me a medicine check, please.
Yeah, sure. Can I guide myself for this?
Sure.
I feel like Thoricus would offer to help medical assistance.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Yeah, Thoricus would probably offer to help as well.
I
But
think Thoricus would also be like super interested in how weird
Oh,
and
yeah.
gross it was.
Thoricus would absolutely be watching this go down.
Fair enough. Alright.
So let's say you have advantage from Thoricus being there. Before
good.
the
While
before
this is
the roll
happening,
takes
Ailey
place.
will like go to the robot and be like, have you named it yet?
Nope.
Okay, sweet. And be
Oh
like,
god.
are you super obsessed with Jamie like Thoricus is?
Right next to Thoricus as well.
He's like hoping that she's distracted. Because you can't go for her. Because
I am aware.
She's with Thoricus.
I know, yes. It's only a tiny little bit, like a reasonable amount of an investment, okay? It's about the same sort of investment I've got with Null and the Queen of Air and Darkness. And that weird thing you were doing with the Black Sun God. We won't talk about that.
What about the other ones?
The other ones?
You know, whenever my brother dragged me to whatever new god
You don't care about those. No, I don't care about those.
For them.
Sure you did. You
One
prayed
of
for
them
more
turned me into
alcohol.
a dragon. Why would I keep praying to them?
That's why you kept praying to them. They ain't gonna
Like,
turn
it
me
might
into
be
a dragon now, are
different,
they?
Joe might be able to. We did have dragon clockworks. We could put your brain inside one of those instead.
Now you're talking. All right.
Oh no!
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Begin.
You get used to this body first, and then maybe you get a dragon clockwork. You wait.
Dad.
No buts.
Oh, Jin is not here for this conversation. He is taking some him time.
That is
That's fair.
fair enough.
Sorely
You guys keep talking about me like I'm not here though.
You're
You are
here!
Hey.
And I have been for a long time.
Sorry, we didn't see you pop in. Normally it makes a noise.
Sorry. Yeah, I didn't hear a noise at all.
Well, you have just watched as Varus has plunked his new eyeball into his skull. I'm sure you are very interested in the idea. The idea.
Oh no.
Ba-dum-psh.
Well, that was juicy. And Varys, now as you like get it corrected, like you have to like sort of wiggle it around until it's like lined up with the muscles in your muscles in your head. And yeah, you look out now at everyone. Now that it's no longer going to make you queasy to do so, and you realize that out of the new eye, everything has a very slight green tint to it, probably from the light that is being emitted from it. It's like looking through, you know, those red and blue glasses. But
Except one of the frames is green.
Yeah, I said one is green, the other's not. You're sure you'll get used to it.
Yeah, fair enough. Cool.
So you may change your perception back to its normal state.
Woo! Back up to a 20.
And you now can see perfectly, even though you've still have that eye patch if you want it. Otherwise, you get a glowing.
And why not?
You get a glowing green thing just sticking out of your head.
Somebody might want to take it. I'm going to keep that covered up.
Fair play.
Everything's a little bit green out of this new eye, but
it is always greener on the other side.
That's okay. All right, that's enough.
Hey, come on, come on.
I know you didn't get that optimism from me.
I don't know who I got that from, honestly. You're all a bit dumb.
That's weird. That's
I feel like it's a cumulative effect from all of you. That's probably it.
Yeah, that does make
Ailey's
sense.
just nodding like, I don't know what that word means.
Although I guess if your entire creation was from a moment of pure grief, the only thing you really can be is happy, I guess. He looks between you all like knowingly looks at you all in the eyes.
Sorry, can you remind me what the moment of grief was?
It was Micaiah being dead.
Right.
Yeah, so you were all present for
So
that.
when she died, or
So when she was being stitched up, like the collective, like, so it was sort of from that very moment onwards until that night when it finally activated, all of the expended emotion and magic and everything that happened from that point culminated in his creation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jun's still like just fart-assing around, going for a little walk, trying to, clear his mind a little bit. He's also keeping an eye out. What are the constructs made out of? Like, what materials are around him? Does he see any silver?
No silver. So this is all made of that magical metal that all of the clockworks are made out of. It's all at the moment what you're seeing around here is the pieced together amalgamation of all the bits and pieces that made up a previously here constructor. Essentially, it was putting all of the pieces together for the construction of clockworks. It seems to have been streamlined in some way. All of the pieces, a bunch of pieces that seemed unnecessary have been removed. And there's a smaller contraption that still seems to be for piecing together and making things, and leads has like a conveyor belt leading down here into a sort of opening down here. But it's all currently shut down, but it is a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's an enigma to look at, for sure, as all of these little pieces make up the stuff, and all you're able to really make out is like casts of different pieces of clockwork that you've seen, like chest plates and clock, like and the gears and bits and pieces, on conveyor belts or being held by different bits of this machine. All sort of brassy, coppery coloured pieces. Some pieces are blackened by fire or by damage of some sort, but all in otherwise working order.
Cool.
Yeah.
While I remember, Therikus,
Yes.
you have your Jamie-assisted arm now. Could I grab the hand crossbow back off you? I think if we give it to Zupimo, he might be able to enchant it to make sure that we don't have to, deal with it the way that we did in the Feywild. We'll be more
course.
reliable in the future.
Cool.
Cool. Grab that and take it over to him. Hey, would you be able to do me a big favor, please?
Yes, I suppose I can.
Wonderful. We'll get your payment for it, or we can talk to Wayclaw and sort something out, I'm sure. But just as a just in case we need it type of thing, would you be able to work some magic with this hand crossbow?
See what I can do.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. And no curse so far, so you're good. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, let me know how it goes.
At the moment, it's kind of green.
Green, you say?
Yeah,
Interesting.
Verisol left the eye patch.
Oh, that's that's green.
Yeah. Didn't know
Interesting.
that was part of it.
No, that's not on the enchantment. It must just be an innate nature of whatever material it's made out of, I think.
Okay.
It's a bit of a shame,
Alright.
though, that you're going to have to hide it. Oh, well.
It is. I'm sure in the right circumstances, it would be fine to take off the eye patch. If I want to show off the next time. No, never mind. Actually, I'm not going to talk about that. That's okay.
You're going to flash your eye at somebody? Yes.
Yeah, as like a menacing thing, maybe, or
I
or
could
a
see that.
showing off type of thing.
Yeah.
Could work. I could see it.
I suppose you could trick anybody into believing whatever that eye does,
Ooh, good thought. I'm not so good at lying to people, but
Maybe have somebody else tell them that your eye does cool stuff.
that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that.
And the robot lies.
I mean, you haven't asked it to yet. But if it's got alien there.
Yeah, I know, that's what, like, the conflict of, like... Though, in saying that, Ailey normally tells the truth a little too blatantly.
Yes. That is true. But yes, I will we'll see what enchantments can be made upon this crossbow that will make it useful for you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Of course. And yes, I mean, at this point, money, I guess, But
Right. Trust me, write up like a receipt or a tab or whatever and give it to Wayclaw, because if anybody's going to foot the bill for this stuff, I trust it would be Wayclaw.
of course, yes.
I think he understands that it's
He is...
it costs money to adventure.
Yes, but he is a big, scary dragon, remember? So, you
I
know,
mean,
I would much
know,
rather that
but-
you pay me for these things. I will say that I'll keep it to materials. You know, gold and
appreciate
other things has to go into an enchantment. Or at least things of value have to go into an enchantment. So, if I can recoup my costs, at least that will be enough, I think.
Sure. Also, don't forget, I did talk to Solo for you, so you might be able to get access to magical, or well, to easy to enchant objects that have inherent values like diamonds and things.
Yes, of course, but you know, I can't get it paid in exposure, as it turns out. So,
This is true.
but I am indeed selling to people downstairs now. So,
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear that.
yes, your satyr friend is, well, you know,
Oh, Nemi?
yes, just a good customer.
I imagine so. You probably got good connections around here already as well.
Oh, indeed, indeed.
Wonderful. Thank you again.
Of course.
I'm about to head back to the group.
All right. Well, Joe's and Zupimo and Elephon all head back to doing whatever they were doing. Magic and sorcery and studying of pictograms. But then Joe will probably come out at the end of all of you guys having finally finished any attunements or anything that you guys would like to do. Joe will come out and say, I am heading down to look at the other pictogram in the clock room in the astrolabe. If you would like to join me as I come down. I'm not sure how else you guys were planning on getting around here.
Yeah, sure.
Jun will rejoin the group and say, yep, let's go.
All right.
Let's do it.
Well, you best all get in front of me. It's going to be a quick teleport. How many people we got going on? Like 8? Yep, that's about it. Perfect.
This amount of people for teleport is just right.
And teleported. It's a lot less terrible. It's terrible. It's a lot less nauseating than the previous teleportation you just went up through. As it's only like a few kilometers. Not even that many. Like only a couple, really. You've gone down a few levels. It's like taking the elevator. Except there is an elevator you will take, and we'll also get you to roll for that one later. Anyway, trying to find the old Storm's Ledge city. Make sure that the right people are here. Varys is here, but he's got no eye patch. Need eye patch. No.
Swashbuckling Varys.
Pirate Varys. Okay. Buddy.
Maybe that's the plan after adventuring.
Become a pirate.
Just becomes a pirate.
I feel like his moral compass for pirate maybe I don't know if that works. Maybe he'd do like a Robin Hood style of
Yeah.
piracy.
Yeah.
Depends
Yeah,
how good
like
you
it-
are at walking.
Yep.
Do you like crackers?
Probably want a cracker. All right.
You know, if you want to become a one-eyed parrot after you hang out with us, that's cool, I guess.
That's the goal. That's the dream.
Anyway, again, surroundings entirely change. You're no longer in a entirely metal surrounding. Instead, you find yourself in a very nicely decorated room. There are shelves seemingly hurriedly pushed away from where you are at. As lots of books and stuff have fallen off of them, and there's a little bit of singe marks in like on the walls in some places that look like they haven't been cleaned up just yet. But otherwise it is very reminiscent of a like a library, I guess, the back rooms of a library. You're most of you are familiar with this area as the teleportation circle that was, covered in paint and books and stuff, and left to left to be forgotten. It has now seemingly been prepared for proper use, as you all land on your feet, let your stomachs settle, when a not probably about Avril's age child that has flecks of blue crystal dragon scales, sapphire dragon scales along their cheeks, looks up from whatever they were reading, sort of sitting there, seemingly guarding this teleportation circle, looks up at you all. Their school robes sort of are awash with different colors. It looks like they've made a mess of a spell that has dyed their robes in different colors. Not sure if it's on purpose or not, but they seem to be responsible, as they've been left here in charge of the teleportation circle. They look up at you all and go, Oh, I wasn't expecting so many of you. I thought just Joe would be seeing us.
Is this a child that any of us recognize?
Not at all.
Hi, where are the others?
Others?
We work with Joe.
Yes. I know about you guys.
We've been here before. The building will recognize us, even if you do not.
Yes, I think I've definitely seen you guys before, and I know of you. You're Varys and Ailey and Thoricus and Jin and Dog, and there's two more of you in another clockwork. Oh, Joe, have you figured out how to do that now? And Joe shakes his head. No, Varys has figured out this one. Oh,
Varys
Well.
just gives a little salute.
well, you are as amazing as they say.
Oh, sorry, who's saying things about us?
Well, you guys are the talk of the place. the outsiders who helped in a bunch of different and crazy ways. And, well, there was that whole potion event that you guys were around and helped with. That's been crazy.
Oh?
Oh?
How has the fallout of the potion event been?
Well, it's taken... I think we're finally cleaned up the last of it. But it had turned a whole block into a lot of different things. But we got it cleaned up now, and no one else was seriously injured. At least not after the initial event.
What happened to the person who was rescued from the potion store?
I believe he is recovering well.
Okay.
I think we had to do some special magics to keep his skin from growing. But
Yes, that was a task.
yes, but I think he is recovering well since.
Good. Glad to hear that.
Well, I won't keep you any longer. You guys have places to be.
Sure. Yeah.
And Joe will just start walking, expecting you guys to follow if you're going to follow.
Mm-hmm.
Head out the door, down the corridor, until you get to the center, the sort of main hall of the school, and he'll stop abruptly, as he tends to do when he's expecting of things, and turn around and say, "You do not need to follow me to the astrolabe. If you do not want to, feel free to take your leave. I will, of course, let you know when I have any more information. And of course, let me know if you find any more pictograms."
Of course. Thank you very much, Joe. It was good to see you again.
You too, my friends. And he will click back into place and head on his way back to the astrolabe. But you are all now in the center of a massive, bustling, young and old school of magic. See lots of dark dwarves, half dragons covered in crystalline scales, bunch of half elven or full elven children running around. You notice that some of them are most of them are sorcerers as opposed to wizards, but there is only occasional wizard you see that is heavily stuck in the books.
Yeah, the occasional nerd you see walking past.
Exactly. People who are not innately capable of magic, but who are studying it. Yeah.
That's a question. How would you run a school where most of the primary magic users are sorcerers who kind of just get their magic?
That is the question.
I've been watching all the way through Dimension 20 Fantasy High.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the answer to that is chaos.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is a lot of what goes on here, it seems.
I know what you're talking about. Jace is a great teacher.
I haven't got that far yet. What if that references?
So, what should we do, everybody?
Sorry, Scully, can you remind me why we came back to Storm Sledge?
You don't know of a teleportation circle outside of this place, so this is your best bet to travel the rest of the way to the west of the rest of the country, basically. You can exit out the way that you guys had previously come in through Shadow Song, if you'd like, to head out through the waterfall and ride back to Hiroga.
And what was our purpose in heading back to Hiroga?
To meet up with Wayclaw, as he had. That's right, I hadn't actually told you in the recap that Wayclaw has apparently found one of the Jinsen temples that you guys are looking for to piece together that stuff. That's pretty much the only lead on things that you have so far, other than Joe constantly looking for pictograms and stuff. It's pretty much the only line of things you want to do. Also, he'll probably be the person to talk to about exactly what's been happening around here since you guys have been gone. Like what's happening with the war and all the other bad guys that you guys have to deal with. Has there been any talk of skinned Lamia and things like that?
Okay.
Yeah. So that is the reason that you have come down here, is that is the quickest and easiest way to get out of here and get back to Hiroga. Simple as that. Which is also the place that, the general place of things you guys want to go to. You probably want to go back home as well, so catch the train in Hiroga to go back home. Things like that.
Show everyone our house.
Yeah.
Make sure that our stuff is still there.
Have we started talking about it in terms of our house in a way that Jun would be included in? Or, because unless otherwise said, Jun would explicitly not be including himself in that.
That's a good question.
I feel like Varys very much thinks that it's Jun's house as well. So he'd probably say that. And he would say our, gesturing at everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Jun's keen to, be in comfortable places, but also to get on with the task at hand.
Of course. Right. Well. What's the plan here?
Shall we eat something and then head off?
That sounds like a good idea to me, yeah. Get some snacks for the
I'll be back
road.
shortly.
Okay.
I vaguely remember that there was a nice little tavern, and also potentially that this is one of the few places that has decent stocks of magical items before we head out.
That is true. Yes, the Zupimo is going around, so he won't be at his store. So if anybody needs anything, now's probably the time.
I do need that silver cage still.
Oh, true. Well, if we can get our hands on some silver, I might be able to craft that for you.
I would appreciate it.
So give it a go.
So as we walk through, yeah, as we walk through towards what I presume we decide to go and get lunch, Jun is going to keep an eye out for just, anyone that looks like they have more money than sense and isn't innately very magical.
Okay.
Jen, what
He
you
doesn't
doing?
he doesn't necessarily expect to find a good mark in this place, but he's gonna keep an eye out.
Okay. Roll me. Let's do it as an investigation.
Okay.
May I roll a perception to see if Jen is acting weird as shit?
Sure. Jun, are you attempting to hide the fact that you are eyeing out for this, or being
Oh, of
obvious?
course.
Okay.
He's always, looking around slightly over alert. He's, grew up as a street urchin. He's always looking out for danger and or a mark and or a meal and or, whatever else.
Fair enough.
All right. Then I would say, then that would be your natural deception check, your natural deception mark. So that does not beat that. So no, Avril does not notice that Jun is being any weirder than he normally is.
All good, all good.
But Jun, you do, on your brief walk through the city, do notice, you wouldn't say that there were particularly not magically inclined people, like some half elves, some human, just regular old humans. Surprisingly, they still exist around here. At least as far as you can tell that they're still regular humans. They may be indeed half dragons that have, very little scale to them. But it's a big city. There's plenty of marks, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Was there something in particular you wanted from the
Money.
money?
Yeah.
All right.
Jun needs something that's worth more than what he currently has, so...
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah. There's a few.
I think he would... Like, he's doing this weird thing where he's trying to kind of get to know people a little bit better and not be so aloof. And, like, when Avril lost her memory, he kind of was like, well, this person's forgotten what they saw about me, so let's, like, try and, new slate. Let's, I don't know, pretend to be a new type of person with this person. And so he'll kind of nudge Avril and point out a particularly non-magical, maybe distracted-looking mark, and kind of say to Avril, "Why don't you go show that guy your mage hand magic trick? That was cool."
Oh, should I involve these? Pulls deck of cards out and uses mage hand as a third hand to do cool shuffling.
That's very cool. Go and distract that man with your trick for me. And he
Why?
winks at her. Because I want the help action for my sleight of hand check, that's why.
You have something in your eye? You only closed one.
It's called a wink.
Oh. A wink. Cool. Okay. I will attempt to go and annoy this random stranger pointed out to me by being like, hey, do you want to find that lady?
Sure.
I learned this really cool trick today and I want to show people, so could I show you, please?
Yeah, sure.
Starts aggressively shuffling cards with the mage hand, like, look, I could do it in midair too.
All right. Roll me a performance check.
Sweet. That'll be an 18 there, boss.
Yep. He is relatively enthralled in what you're doing. Yeah, he's seen a magic before. He lives in a magical city, but he has not had to deal with a street magician in that sense before. So he is like, oh, this is quite interesting, actually.
Wait, did he? Is swings it in the air, tries to catch it with my mouth. Is this your card?
Oh my god, yes. Holy how, that's very, very good magic.
I'll
I
do it
think-
again for like a little bit of money that I can give back to the orphans.
Oh, of course. And you see him reach into his jacket and pull out a sack of money, a little coin purse. Produce a single silver piece from it, hand it to Everil, and Jin will very clearly notice exactly where he places it back in his coat.
I think as Avril does the trick again and he is enthralled, Jin will approach kind of from an angle, kind of out of his peripheral vision behind him, and kind of lift the bag of coins. Well, assuming he rolls well, he's going to lift the bag of coins and then kind of step into where he can be a bit more seen, and then kind of go, oh, but first he's going to actually, when he winked at Avril, he would have changed his appearance to look like a random citizen.
Okay.
And he's going to approach this guy at an angle, try and swipe the coin purse, and then kind of go up to everyone and go, oh dear, don't bother this man, kind of like a parental figure dragging their child away from bothering the man.
But they were gonna help me give money to the orphans. It like turns to walk with you, shielding you with the hat.
I assume I have to roll a sleight of hand check?
You will have to roll a sleight of hand check.
Do I get advantage?
You do have advantage on this.
Yes.
The fly.
Oh, I better do better than that one.
Oh god!
Jesus!
Dear.
It was so good until the dice god said fuck you in particular.
Well, as you're brushing past him to try and to start performing this act of parenting, as you go to slip in and grab the coin purse, you realize you may have done it a little too early, as instead you grab his hand and pull it out of it, and holding his hand when you reach out, and you realize that you're holding his hand, and you look up at him and he looks at you and goes,
Is he handsome?
he's all right looking.
Is he like a larger guy, or
he's a little bit all right. Okay, here we go.
can you give the same basic characteristics on the spot? Go.
For sure. He's average height for a human. You've seen plenty of humans around before. He's got curly dark hair. He's dressed in a nice coat, well woven. He's got a nice suited vest underneath. The reason why he's your mark is because he looks like he's very well dressed, very well bred. He's got softer features around her face, but you see now, looking directly into his face, you see he's got very piercing blue eyes, and they're sort of kind of slitted like a dragon's, and you realize that that's probably the very minuscule amount of dragon that he's got in him is given him these draconic looking eyes.
Jun is going to very quickly realize he's fucked up, as he so often does, and kind of do a double take, holding this guy's hand, and go, "My, you have such beautiful eyes."
He like
And
What are you trying to steal?
just a coin
It's
purse.
hard
It's hard now.
now.
You see, he like shakes.
Ailey's just gonna be watching this, shaking her head like that. Amateurs.
Yeah. He shakes his hand to make you let go, and like flicks his arm off, like he doesn't want to be touched. And goes, "Thank you."
Jun kind of apologizes and said, "I'm so sorry that my ward was
Um,
bothering you. I will take her away now."
Roll a
was-
deception check with disadvantage, please.
Oh, okay. It's not gonna get worse than that. At least I have a better deception modifier than my sleight of hand modifier.
Yeah.
See, after this, can Ailey be like, "This is how it's really done," and just like bump into someone and steal a purse?
Oh dear. Well, I hate to say that he rolled a natural 19 on his insight roll. I see. This one's with you, huh?
Well, during the days. And he goes to...
I wonder how the constabulary will feel about this. And you see he starts to turn, and you see that he's turning down the street, and you can see at the end there is some magical guard police officers at the far end of the street.
He's going to whisper to Everil, "Run!" And they're going to run into an alley, and Jun is going to turn back into himself.
Oh, sorry, sir, gotta go. Turns around.
Hey, wait! Stop those! And you slink off into this alleyway. Roll stealth checks. Jun, I guess you could roll it at advantage as you've changed shape.
I am going to, the first time ever, whip my hat off and attempt to fold it into a few stuffs so that I can hold it in front of me so it's nowhere near as conspicuous.
Okay. No disadvantage on stealth check. I did.
I did my best.
What do you look like without the hat on?
Big hair. All of that, like, jet black straggly bits are just, like, up on their ends. I've got the world's worst hat hair right now.
It's probably like been static in there for ages, so it's like all you see that the wisps are trying to form back into the cone shape.
The hair wants to be a hat.
Yeah. But yes, the rest of the party see all of this go down, and see you all go into the alleyway, and notice that a couple of people have seen you go into the alleyway.
Varys just shakes his head and grimaces at the clockwork.
He looks he looks up at you, shakes his head as well, and goes, "Let me deal with it." And you see him like go down on all fours, and yep. Yep. And start moving exactly like Codswallop would, and bound off into the road where this man is trying to flag down a police officer, and bark at him. And then the guy turns, looks at his clockwork, looks at the clockwork, looks back at the cops, thinks again about what he's just seen, looks back at the clockwork and goes, what the fuck? And then the clockwork chomps at his leg at the fabric, tears a bit off of it, and runs in entirely the different direction to Jin and Avril. And he seems to be gone for a moment. But this guy has an entirely different problem now. And is seemingly more interested in that, and so is everybody else on the street.
Oh my god, I have a great name for that interpretation of Codswallop, and it's Cogswallop.
Is that what his official name's gonna be now?
I don't think so.
Only in doggo mode.
Yeah.
He got that dog in him. Anyway, once you guys eventually manage to get back together, you will eventually meet up with the clockwork again, who is now standing at his normal, bi-legged state, and is just sauntering back, but is wearing this torn piece of material as like a scarf. It's like an ascot around his neck. And walks up. Well, that could have gone better.
I mean, it could have also gone a lot worse. Well done.
Well, you'll be surprised about what people do when they see something they've never seen before.
I can absolutely guarantee you that man has never seen that before. It's true.
It's amazing what you get ideas-wise when you've got a small dog in your brain. And he leans down and gives Codswallop a good scratch.
Oh.
And with that, we will finish up for tonight, as it is.
Oh, so Ailey doesn't get to do an example?
You can absolutely do your example next time.
Okay.
Because it is now past 10 o'clock, so we do have to finish up. We have not yet arrived at the inn yet. You guys have just come back together after some shenanigans, so it would be a perfect time for Ailey to show them exactly how it's done. Yeah. Otherwise, thanks everybody. Things are gonna get extremely crazy, I imagine, going forward.
Honestly, it's a wonder that Jun
character
survived to this age.
A 6 and a 3 on a sleight of hand. That is so good. And then a 3, and then immediately again a 3. Perfect. Thanks everybody for joining us. We will see you all next time. Be prepared for more terrible rolls in our future. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.